It has been said before that the next billionaires in the world will be in the sector of agriculture. The sector of agriculture has a lot of potential moving forward, whether it is on blue economy, whether it is on crop production or livestock production or other aspects of agro-processing agricultural commodities.
Today we did a public-private dialogue together with county officials from the 5 counties, from the private sector, a dialogue which has taken place for the very first time. The organizers were the the Lake Region Economic Bloc and ASSEK, the Association of Startups and SME Enablers in Kenya.
And this is so very important, the same thing that we have in our strategic objectives, really creating effective dialogue and structured dialogue between the public sector and the private sector.
We had 2 very important topics. One was on business environment, a bit on a general term, and secondly was on the promotion of the access to land for young agripreneurs.
If we have to make our counties and our nation of Kenya food secure, then the youth must be at the center of production. The youth must be at the center of agro-processing, and the youth must be at the center of budgeting.
The Agri-Jobs for Youth initiative is a program that supports the creation of employment for young people aged 18 to 35. We are working there very closely in 5 counties, which is Bungoma, Kakamega, Siaya, and Kisumu, of course. We support the employment creation on the level of employability for young job seekers. We support the matchmaking between job seekers and employers, and we support private sector development by creating jobs in the agri-business sector. We are particularly working in passion fruit, in poultry, in African leafy vegetables, in groundnut and in honey. We are aiming at creating 6,000 new jobs in these value chains or in the agribusiness in the 5 counties. And by doing so, we are hoping to promote a lot of very good initiatives, approaches that can be taken up by the county governments, by private sector enterprise support organizations, and by the private sector in itself to further create impact for young people in the 5 counties.
It has been interesting to have this workshop today because we have deliberated on very key issues that are affecting youth. We know land is a big factor in production when it comes to agricultural production, and youth are having challenges to access this land.
There are cases when people, the owners of the land, prematurely end leases just because maybe they were in dire need of the money, but at some point they feel like, okay, I've gotten some money already, maybe I can end this contract. And because there's nothing written, it's hard to follow up on that.
So the issues that we have deliberated about land, including the interventions on how the policy framework should look like to enable youth easily access the either private or public land, is a major milestone in achieving youth access to land.
One of the solutions, at least we came to agree with the youth groups, was formal land leasing as a solution that gives some security and also helps the youth view farming more as a full-time employment opportunity and less as a part-time vocation.
The land lease guideline that has been developed by TMG is very important for us as young people, and we encourage GIZ and ASSEK to bring this discussion to the ground and also involve us as young people, as youth organizations, so that we're able to make this work for young people, learn from the challenge that might emerge, and see how to come up with other modalities that can work best with regards to that guideline.
What I'm taking back where I've come from, we are going to empower many youth to go for the land leasing and do more agriculture to sustain the food security that we are facing currently worldwide.
We have talked also about the business environment. we have seen why youth are not easily accessing even the available youth fund and other funds.
The formal financial service providers perceived lending to youths as very risky.
When youth walk into those banks, the first thing they are asked is to produce a 2-year statement.
Before I got my first loan from one of the banks, I asked for 500,000 shillings. Then when I submitted everything, one of my guarantors was in CRB, so I missed that.
Most of these young people, whenever I meet them, actually they are vulnerable.
The deliberations that we have made, they are going to be key milestones in improving the system so that more youth can easily access funds for them to be able to run their business ventures.
So what is coming out from this discussion that we need to cascade this kind of discussion to the community level where we come from, and be able to convince our communities that young people have grown the potential of venturing into agriculture, and then they need to give them opportunities to access land.
My main takeaways are actually that there is a huge commitment from both sides. Commitment from the public side, a lot of offers that are there for young people, for the private sector in promoting conducive frameworks, and luckily we have quite a number of very good supporting organizations in the counties, but as well at national level, just to name ASSEK and ASSNet as well.
The main objective was to create opportunities to empower the young people to either access gainful employment, or at the same time also supporting them to be the self-employment in agribusiness.
We have an opportunity now to take our commodities to other countries, and for this reason we must therefore strive to be very, very competitive. And that is why this conversation is very important, so that we can listen to the entire supply chain, we can listen to the farmers, we can listen to the aggregators, we can listen to the value addition actors, because at the end of the day, the private sector is the implementer of the government policies.
We are very grateful to the organizers of this dialogue. We have had a very cordial relationship as a county government of Siaya with GIZ. They have been of assistance in helping us to develop policies. They helped us do the soil management policy. They helped us to do a youth in agribusiness strategy. And they have been committed to work with us through these very important issues.
Previously, we have worked with GIZ, and GIZ has supported various youth groups in Vihiga County. They have taken youth through training at TVET centers, and these youth have, some of them have been employed in our dairy cooperatives in Vihiga County. Others have been equipped with startup capital for their businesses. Others were equipped with motorbikes and were deployed in Vihiga County to run with the AI, artificial insemination, in the dairy business. So we have worked closely with GIZ, and we shall continue partnering and working together.
To ASSEK, I want to encourage that we talk more to youth, we bring them to the platform so that they can be able to benefit from the opportunities arising from the public sector, and they will be able to push them to another level. To GIZ, I believe we have walked a journey, and my understanding is that this is going to form another level of interactions, and we need to have another run of such an event so that we can exhaust the challenges that we are talking about, and these are very practical. I like the thing that today we have had youth talking practically with their leaders, and I believe that has a great impact.
As a young person, I'm passionate about seeing young people grow, and I do encourage GIZ, I encourage TMG, I encourage ASSNEK to engage with young people more, bring these kind of forums at the community level so that they're able to listen from the real, or rather the youth and get to know real-time information and challenges and best practices, how young people are coping up with issues around access to land. So when we do that, I think we'll be able to make things practical and also ensure that the guidelines that we are coming up today is well adopted and utilized by the young people.
We believe that these results from today will not only lead into new actions of other partners, but will be as well integrated in our work in the Agri-Jobs for Youth initiative, in the running project, but as well we learned a lot, I learned a lot, what we want to integrate into a new project, which will start next year, and which will help as well to overcome some of these hindrances between the public and the private sector.